I guess what I want to ask you about is the workings of the coaching staff. Last year you had this situation where you were moving into kind of a new position in terms of your responsibilities.
Correct.
And the mechanics of how that was going to work were a question all the way up to the end of the season. Then you guys worked some things out. You were upstairs. Does it feel good, number one, to have that settled this year?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Will it make a difference for you, do you think?
Absolutely.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we have a great offensive staff, and we know how we want to operate, and we feel good about the way it's going, and good strong alignment, and this rearranging a little bit of the staff has allowed me to have a little more freedom, more involvement in the passing game, more involvement overall, in seeing everything, and not always having to have my eyes focused on what's going on at right guard or left tackle or whatever, but can see a broader stroke, and so that's been good.
Speaking of that broader stroke, I mean, last year, rightfully so, you had a cannon and you shot it. I mean, his name was Zeke, and he was the backbone of your offense. This year, what we're hearing is the offense will be more diverse. As a play caller, does that kind of get your juices flowing? I mean,
absolutely.
You can be more creative, maybe.
Well, it's good for all of our offensive players. We have great offensive players, great skill guys. And we want to get touches to all the playmakers.
Yeah.
So who are our playmakers at X, Y, Z? Who are our playmakers in the backfield? And so we have a lot of different pieces there. And the ability not to have one guy have to carry the load is going to make us, I think, hard to defend and make us fun. And it's going to be exciting for the players.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is headed in the right direction, and we're really happy about where it's at right now.
I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because people always ask me, is it possible to have too many guys at a position? I mean, because one football, you can't keep everybody happy. Can that ever be a problem on a team, and how do you deal with it?
I mean, it can be a problem if you have selfish guys on your team. We do not have selfish guys. We have team-oriented people. That's the great thing about this group we have, is I just feel so strongly about these kids and how hard they work, and they're all team aligned, and everybody just wants to do their part, and so I feel really good about that. But we'll move pieces around to make sure that they're in positions to help us. So I mean, that's part of our responsibility too.
There is no lack of conversation about the youth of this team. I mean, you guys are really young. As a coach, does that get you excited? Does it worry you? Are you ambivalent about it?
Yeah, it doesn't worry me really, because when I look at who's going to jog out there in the first game for us, probably on offense, I mean, there's going to be a couple spots that are young, but the rest of them are going to be guys. I mean, Pat Elfline's a fifth-year guy. Billy Price is a fourth-year guy. Jamarco Jones is a third-year guy. Demetrius Knox is a third-year guy. I mean, Michael Jordan, if he jogs out there for the first game, he's a young guy. But he's mature beyond his, kind of age at wide receiver. I mean, we're going to jog out all guys who've been in the program. Marcus Ball, if he jogs out there, he's a fourth-year guy. So, I mean, really, the youth is the backups for offense, except for a couple spots. Tailback and slash, maybe one of the O-line spots. So, when you have JT as your quarterback, not much worries me right now.
You made a great point. I think it's a great distinction. Sports writers, the public, we look at returning starters, that sort of thing. You're talking about players years in the program. Do we underestimate that? I mean,
yep, I think you do, because the way we practice, our twos get as many reps as our ones. We're not a 70% ones, 30% twos distribution at practice. We're almost 50-50. So our second team guys, if you've been here 3 years, you've had a lot of reps, and you should be ready to go, and you should be ready to step in and play at a high level. And I am confident that some of those guys will do that.
And you're getting reps against some pretty good guys.
Yeah, because
even though it's not game day.
If you're the second offense, most of the time, if you're the backup O-line, you jog out there and go against our first defense. Because usually when we practice, it's 1-0, 2D, 2D, 1-0. 2-0, 1D. And so when we practice, you're going against really high-level players. So if you're Jamarco Jones, when you practice last year, you went against Joey Bosa every rep.
Yeah, you've convinced me. The skeptics would say, I'm not among them, but I want you. This is what the skeptics would say, but they haven't done it with the lights on. They haven't done it in front of 100,000 people.
No,
You worry about
that's
that?
the only. I don't, because I know those kids, and I know that they'll be fine.
Yeah.
That they have high level confidence. When the lights come on and you're not confident, that's when you can have problems.
Yeah.
If you're a confident player and you know your position, you know what you're supposed to do, when the lights come on, nothing changes. So I feel strongly that a lot of those guys who haven't had starts, though, are going to play with a great deal of confidence and play at a high level.